here today to make the case for why culture and creativity are important for young people. I mean, my answer is pretty simple, actually. It'll help you get a job, it'll make you happier and more confident, but that would make my speech too short, so I'm just going to bang on a bit longer. And I'm going to start with a story about my son. September 4 years ago, he just got his GCSE results, not quite as good as he'd been hoping for, and he was struggling to decide which A-levels to do. So I was summoned to a meeting at his school. Now, one of the options he was looking at was drama A-level, which I thought was a great idea. He'd done a bit of drama, he'd done drama GCSE, really liked it. The other ones were history, politics and economics, and he had to choose three, so one had to go. So in this conversation with the deputy head of the sixth form, the teacher says to me, well, the obvious thing for him to drop is drama. Why is that obvious, I asked. Well, I mean, he doesn't want to be an actor, does he? No. And the other subjects are, well, you know, a bit more academic. That was red rag to a bull. Because in my view, of all the subjects that my son was contemplating doing at A-level, drama was the only one which would prepare him for the workplace. And so I gave the teacher a list of all the things studying drama could do for a young person. And this is what they are. Number 1, confidence. Critical for any job you do. If you can get on stage in front of an audience and get through it without hyperventilating like these 4 young people have just done, you're building confidence. Presentation skills. It doesn't matter what you do in life, whether you're running an art gallery, selling widgets, working in catering, building aircraft parts. At some point, you will probably be asked to make a presentation. Scary, but necessary. And if you practice this within the safe setting of a school or your local drama group or whatever, you will be better prepared for the future. Number 3, teamwork. Put on a play, a poem, a dance, whatever. You need to work in a team. You 4 just worked in a team. Being able to work in a team, to collaborate, is critical to any workplace. Project management. Number 4. Drama A-level requires you to write and produce a play from scratch with a team and deliver that project. Tell me a job that doesn't require that. Creative thinking. The robots are coming. We know this. Mechanisation and artificial intelligence means that many of the jobs people do today will disappear. But I don't think robots will ever be able to replace humans when it comes to imagination and creativity. I know there have been some experiments getting robots to paint, write short stories or scripts, but they're pretty rubbish. It's a fair way off. Number 6, storytelling. Another critical skill that we deploy in all sorts of professions. Politics, journalism, advertising. Why do you buy a pair of Nike trainers rather than a pair of unbranded shoes? Because you have been told a story. What's a brand of perfume but a story? Human beings have been telling stories for as long as we've been on this earth. In his best-selling book, Sapiens, Yuval Noah Harari points out that this is what distinguishes us, human beings, from the rest of the animal kingdom, and that is our ability to tell stories. It is the glue that holds us together. The reason we cooperate in large groups and with strangers is because we tell stories, we believe in things. What is religion, nations, money, human rights, but a story that we tell each other? Money, for instance. This coin, note, or piece of plastic has value because we say it does. As Harari explains in the book, you can't convince a chimpanzee to swap a banana for a piece of paper, or by promising him that after he dies, he will get limitless bananas in chimpanzee heaven. Because believing in money or religion depends on telling a story and making sure that everybody believes in that story. My generation applied for jobs after we left school or university. I was lucky enough to get on the BBC training scheme, but now many young people are having to invent their own jobs. In the course of a lifetime, they'll probably do many different jobs, so providing them with the tools to be confident and creative is critical. Arts and culture gives young people a voice. It gives them agency and control in an uncertain future. No private school in this country has cut back on art subjects. On the contrary, they have theatres, rehearsal spaces, orchestras, art rooms. Meanwhile, kids in the state sector are increasingly been deprived of this. The number of teenagers being entered for creative arts subjects at GCSE has dropped significantly in the last 5 years. Entries for GCSE design and technology fell by a third, 32% between 2012 and 2017. Between 2010 and 2017, there was a 24% drop in students taking drama GCSE. Our education system is still stuck in the 19th century, where we cram kids' heads full of information. What's the point? You've got it all on your iPhone. Increasingly, educationalists say that what we should be teaching kids are the 4 C's: creativity, communication, critical thinking, and collaboration. Britain is a world leader when it comes to the creative industries. That's why our art and design schools are full of students who've come over here from all over the world. The UK is the biggest exporter of TV and film after the United States in the world. Go to Cardiff or Belfast, see how many people are now employed in that sector off the back of Game of Thrones and Doctor Who and so on. And I'm not talking actors and directors, I'm talking well-paid, skilled jobs, set designers, costume designers, props, lighting, makeup, special effects, camera operators, sound technicians. Most of these things are a long way off from being automated. The fashion industry contributes much more to the UK economy than the car industry, and almost as much as financial services. And let us stop thinking in narrow terms about art versus science. We're one of the world leaders in the computer games industry. My stepson's a video games designer. He had to study art, history and design as well as coding. It all comes back to creativity. Leonardo da Vinci wasn't just one of the greatest painters that ever lived. He was also a visionary engineer. Mathematicians have studied the music of Bach because of his intuitive understanding of the theory of symmetry. Steve Jobs described in his biography how after dropping out of college he signed up for a calligraphy class, and it was a complete revelation. 2 years later he started working on computers out of his parents' garage. The Mac was the first computer to have beautiful typography, and the reason we can choose from dozens of different fonts to this day is because of a calligraphy class that Steve Jobs took back in the 1970s. We live at a time of great change. My generation has made a right mess of this planet, a right mess of the economy, a right mess of Brexit, a right mess of the education system. City of Dreams is about giving a voice to young people so they can tell their story, so they can tell the older generation, my generation, what they want the world to look like. But we need to give them the tools to tell their story. And I should say, as digital natives, they're probably better qualified than my generation to design their own future. So let us be sure that City of Dreams is more than just a slogan or a logo. Let's make this city synonymous with creativity. NewcastleGateshead has all these brilliant creative institutions. We have the young people. We have the ambition. Let us not wait for Westminster to change things. We can make this happen.